Welcome to today's webcast. The call is being recorded. And now, to begin the program, I'd like to introduce Chris Flack. Please go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Don. Welcome, everybody in our audience, to today's webcast, the Dynamic 365 Opportunity for MSPs and IT Solution Providers, a turnkey Dynamics practice sponsored by SBS Group. I'm Chris Flack with RCPmag.com, and I'm here to moderate and briefly open and introduce everybody to today's program. So thank you all for joining today's program. We appreciate it. Just a few quick things before we get started with today's show, introduce our speakers, and get all the fun started. So just one quick reminder is first things first is we are going to be recording today's event for future viewing and listening purposes. We'll send you a link within 48 hours where you can view a replay of today's program, and you can share that with coworkers, colleagues, anybody who may be interested on today's topic by our sponsor. You could actually share the console and player with somebody in your company or a friend right now by using the paper airplane icon in the bottom of your dock. Click on that, submit an email to them. They can join you in the console. You have a fun chat area together. It's a really fun feature. I suggest you all try it out. We also are going to have a Q&A session at the end of today's broadcast. We do encourage you, however, if you have a question at any point, to please submit it via the Ask a Question box on the left-hand side of your console. If time permits, we'll get to everybody's questions and get out some answers. No question is silly. No question is dumb. Please feel free to ask anything that you want at any time. We're here to help you all out, so thanks for attending. Joining us for today's webcast, we have several great presenters. And a little bit later on, we're going to have one of our presenters introduce them. But real quickly, later on, you're going to hear from two presenters. Their names are Jim Bowman and Scott May. They are going to be joining us from SBS Group. But first up today, we're going to be joined by Scott Bekker. Scott Bekker is the editor-in-chief of RCPmag.com and RCP Magazine. He's a sought-after writer and speaker for webcasts just like this. He has numerous years of experience in the IT field. He's a really great presenter, and he's here to start off today's program. So without any further ado, I will stop talking and hand things over to Scott to get started. So please take the floor.
Thanks a lot, Chris. Appreciate it. And welcome, everyone, to today's RCP webcast on the Dynamic 365 Opportunity for MSPs and IT Solution Providers. So let's take a quick look at the agenda, and then we'll get into it. So I'll be giving a brief overview from my vantage point as editor of Redmond Channel Partner Magazine on the state of the opportunity around Dynamics 365, especially for infrastructure partners and managed service providers. Then we'll hear from some executives at SBS Group who will go deeper on some of those challenges and opportunities, and they'll also be discussing how the Stratus Cloud Alliance is designed to help overcome some obstacles and generate profits. Now, as Chris mentioned at the beginning, one thing I'd like to note here is that we'll have a Q&A portion at the end of the call, and so again, any questions you have at any point, just type them into your console, and we'll get to as many as we can. So if you think about the Microsoft partner community over the last few decades, it's been split into two broad groups. On the one side, you've got infrastructure partners. They come in a really wide variety of sizes and types, and they primarily use Microsoft's infrastructure stack. So both software and cloud services to create technology solutions for customers. On the other side, you've got Dynamics partners, and this is a smaller community of companies who implement Microsoft's enterprise resource planning and customer relationship management products for businesses. In theory, these two groups could have partnered over the years, and some of them did, on integration projects and custom solutions. But at their core, sales of the two product stacks are pretty different. Dynamics partners tend to approach C-suite executives, owners, maybe senior sales leaders with business-oriented pitches. The deals are about sales and marketing processes, and fundamentally they're about business value. On the infrastructure side, partners' intersection with decision makers tends to occur more at the IT department or the CIO level, except with the smaller businesses where the discussion involves the owner. Those partners have been able to afford to pitch on technology, say how the latest version of Windows or Windows Server or Exchange or SQL Server improved upon the features of the last one. And really they've had to pitch that way because they were generally talking to tech-savvy customers who had a good idea of what they wanted to do with the technology, and they only needed to know sort of the feed and speed changes from one version to the next. So right now, two big things are changing those sales pitch equations. First, the emergence of cloud services is forcing infrastructure partners into business case pitches. Office 365 sales and some Azure-related infrastructure projects have been a pretty straightforward transition for infrastructure players. They're able to sell to the same internal customers using similar sales pitches in many cases. But Office 365 especially has become partially a business case pitch where the conversation changes to being more about how the customer wants to pay for technology and about worrying less about managing back-end infrastructure. That trend is even more pronounced in the thousands of other software as a service products customers are buying or using. The vast majority of those purchases tend to be unrelated to technology concerns. They're exclusively about business value of the cloud service, and it's a reason that sales and marketing departments are increasingly rivaling their IT departments in technology spending. So the other major change that I want to talk about is Microsoft's huge push to make the Dynamics lineup a cloud-first business. This effort's been underway for some time, but it really accelerated dramatically with the release of Dynamics 365 last November. And putting that entire suite in the cloud suddenly takes Dynamics, the ERP and CRM products, from something that's been off to the side for Microsoft and puts it right at the center of Microsoft's main go-to-market messages and efforts. So we talk about that kind of marketing as air cover. And with Dynamics 365, the business applications are going to get that forceful, full-throated marketing from Microsoft in a way that they never have before. And the way we're looking at it at RCP is that that's really going to cause the Dynamics business to explode. So Dynamics could become a huge opportunity for infrastructure partners. Now, looking at the infrastructure partner community, many IT partners need help, talking to those business decision makers. A lot of pundits have been telling them to learn the language of business value for years, but many still haven't. And meanwhile, the Dynamics 365 product set is an appealing add-on for infrastructure partners who are already selling a lot of other cloud services to their customers. Yet Dynamics is a very different implementation beast. It's about business processes, compliance, and supply chain. Those are skills that can't really be picked up in a couple of online courses, the way sort of new features of particular technology can. So no matter how quick and easy it is to technically spin up a Dynamics 365 instance, ultimately Dynamics implementations are not primarily about the technology. They're about the business process. So from the sales side and from the implementation side, infrastructure partners who want to bring their customers a Dynamics cloud service often need some help. So when entering new technology areas, partners always have a choice of developing either internal expertise, maybe acquiring other companies, or partnering. And those first two options, developing expertise or acquiring companies, are definite long-term considerations. But today we're going to hear from SBS Group about the Stratus Cloud Alliance, which is an interesting new partnering approach leveraging Microsoft's cloud solution provider model, commonly known as the CSP. So let me switch the slide here. Okay. So now SBS has been around the Microsoft Dynamics channel in its previous iterations like Microsoft Business Solutions for decades. They've already experienced they're already experienced in the Dynamics channel playing a master distributor role as one of a handful of members of the Microsoft Dynamics Master VAR program. But earlier this year, they jumped into the CSP model as an indirect provider. And on the screen here is a quote supporting that launch from Stephen Boyle, who is who's basically Microsoft's U.S. channel chief. So there's about a dozen members of the Microsoft CSP program as indirect providers in the United States, and those are companies like Ingram Micro, Tech Data, Synex, and some others. But what's unique about what SBS Group brings is they're the first ones to approach it from the Dynamics 365 side as a company with deep Dynamics experience. So what I'd like to do now is turn the microphone over to our two guests from SBS Group. And let me tell you a little bit about these guys. So we've got Jim Bowman, who's the president and CEO of the SBS Group and founder of the Stratos Cloud Alliance. And Jim brings more than 30 years of experience in the business software industry. Since he joined SBS Group in 2003, he's grown the organization from 5 employees to more than 300 in over 40 regional offices. Jim's been instrumental in developing programs that have earned the company recognition as a Microsoft Worldwide Partner of the Year and an Inner Circle member, which for you guys on the infrastructure side is an exclusive group of top Dynamics partners. He's also worked with Microsoft to launch the Dynamics Master VAR program. And he currently serves as a member of Microsoft's Partner and Product Advisory Council, providing key input to the direction of Microsoft's business solutions. Our other guest is Scott May, who's Director of Channel Programs for the Stratus Cloud Alliance. And Scott began his career in the ERP world in 1988 with Solomon Software, which was later acquired by Microsoft and became Dynamics SL. He's operated in the Microsoft ERP space ever since, holding a variety of sales, channel, and customer service positions. For the past 15 years, he's primarily been focused on partner management and enablement, and has helped hundreds of partners to build and grow their ERP practices. So Jim, Scott, welcome to the RCP webcast.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks everyone for joining us today. And I think, Scott, if I summed up your view and what's going on in our world as Microsoft partners, I'd say that the key challenge for all of us is how do we remain relevant in this new world? Relevant to our clients, to our partners like Microsoft, to the investors and shareholders in our business. And so that's really the challenge that I see going on every day as partners try to navigate the waters of this new cloud solution world. We've seen that revenue growth amongst partners has not been evenly distributed. Surveys show that the larger firms are seeing a disproportionate share of growth, and the pace and rate of technological change in our business has put pressure on all of us on where to invest to grow our businesses. We've certainly seen too that publishers like Microsoft and others, in an effort to control their channel costs, have tended to manage and focus on larger firms as well. But I think for most of the channel, as you've pointed out, the question is really, with so many things changing in our business, where do we invest and how do we support the expanding needs of our clients as the lines blur between front office and back office, between data entry and analytics. For some, the answer to that has been consolidation. We've seen a lot of M&A deals over the last year or two, and consolidation has enabled partners to gain the operating leverage they need to remain relevant and strategically differentiate themselves. But for others, with so many areas to invest in, and when their focus is not strategic, many of them lose their relevancy and are thrown into the commoditization bucket, into the commoditization wolves, the no man's land of competing on price, where we as partners lose all power to the client. And I think the key consideration there too is that commoditization doesn't really happen to our businesses overnight. We're sort of like frogs in boiling water, so to speak, as we kind of deteriorate into this world of commoditization. And even if we discount the rate of technology change that's going on in our business today, we've certainly seen, particularly with the introduction of the CSP program, increase in competition from new entrants into our ecosystem. Telcos, global SIs, born in the cloud, resellers and partners are all aiming to take a bite out of our businesses as traditional Microsoft partners. I think if you look at the Dynamics space last year and you look at all the M&A deals that happened, the big ones were all foreign-owned companies looking to establish a beachhead here in the U.S. And so we also see that the traditional model of partners partnering with each other has increased risk, particularly among those partners who are relegated to commoditization. So we've got a number of things going on in the world of increasing competition and consolidation and commoditization, and yet, as you point out, the opportunity that is as large as Dynamics 365 in the Microsoft Cloud, how do we see partners react and kind of prepare for that opportunity? And I think you pointed out, too, that there's really three distinct approaches that we see, right? One is partners who just kind of bury their head in the sand and do nothing. Others have been, have said, hey, it's time to exit and sell and merge our businesses into other entities. Others have invested in these new practice areas on their own and kind of gone on the highway by themselves in building these new revenue streams. And then the last area is really working with the strategic indirect CSP distributors who can provide the resources and skills that partners need to take advantage of those new sources of revenue and opportunity. And so, as you discussed, this new operating paradigm of selling business value is huge and really does present challenges for many Microsoft technology partners. As you spoke about, a lot of them are often pigeonholed as simply IT service providers whose interaction with clients is mostly centered around IT departments. They aren't always adept at understanding business process and value chains and how businesses use their business applications to support their revenue growth. And as you pointed out as well, their staffs are not necessarily complete with CRM and ERP experts or business process experts that are really needed to have successful implementations on the dynamic side of the business. And certainly we know that the sales cycle can be very different in selling business applications, and that traditional Microsoft partners have often struggled with adopting kind of a more solution-oriented approach to it. And yet, despite all this, why do partners even want to consider the Dynamics 365 opportunity? And I think, as you pointed out, there's never been a time in the history of Dynamics where we have had more air cover from Microsoft and more focus on Dynamics as a Microsoft solution. And I think that's because, in part, Dynamics 365 is as sticky as glue to clients. While Office 365 may be the lifeblood of the front side of business operations, Dynamics 365 is really the lifeblood on the backside. It's how business gets transacted, how money exchanges hands and gets counted. And since that happens every business day, the Dynamics 365 opportunity is always evolving. Simply because clients' businesses are always evolving and their back-end systems must always adapt to the evolution of their businesses. So for partners, you not only create a great recurring revenue stream in subscription or license opportunities, but certainly have an ongoing stream of opportunities in consulting. I think a couple of weeks ago at the Business Forward event, Scott Guthrie and Satya made it clear that the Dynamics opportunity is really the third leg of the Microsoft Cloud story. And thus its importance to the future of Microsoft's push into the cloud is really tremendous. And partners who can speak to all three legs, Office 365, Azure, and Dynamics 365, to all three of those legs, really have a solid foundation upon which to build their business on and to remain relevant. I think the other thing that makes, the other factor that makes the Dynamics 365 story so compelling is that for the first time in the decade-long history of Microsoft's kind of ownership and stewardship of Dynamics, we've got a single brand that represents the true go-forward story for Dynamics, a real vision of what we see business applications to be. We've got clear visibility now with complete enterprise and business edition suites that provide compelling values to companies of all sizes. And so when you take that Dynamics 365 opportunity and we bundle that in with Office 365 collaboration and operational services from partners and Azure, there really is an opportunity to create some really high-value, high-margin solutions. And still the question remains for many partners is, hey, this Dynamics 365 thing, I get it. I see it as an opportunity for my business, but I'm a technology-focused guy. How do I participate? How do I get started in the Dynamics 365 space? And then I think that's really kind of the underpinning behind the launch of the Stratus Cloud Alliance. As you said, Scott, we are one of the handful selected indirect CSP distributors here in the U.S. and the only one that is really focused on Dynamics 365. We support the entire Dynamics 365 solution set, CRM, finance operations, both business edition and enterprise, and we bring 30-plus years of experience to partners about in implementing those solutions. Stratus Cloud Alliance not only provides you the vehicle to order and provision Dynamics 365, which is something that, quite frankly, most distributors can do, but really gives you a partner who can help you make the digital transformation to Dynamics 365, thrive in that market, help you implement Dynamics 365 for your customers, as we have been doing with partners since 2010 when we launched and pioneered the Dynamics Master VAR program for Microsoft. So, we bring a unique understanding of Dynamics, your business model, the market for SaaS business applications, and allow you to kind of drive more revenue from your existing partners, open up some new revenue streams for your business, and instantly expand your solution portfolio without investing in training or additional staff or fulfilling the requirements for reseller programs, not only within Microsoft for ERP, but for the many ISVs and third-party solutions that get bundled in with an ERP or CRM solution. So, we can support you and develop your own Dynamics 365 service capacity with training and other implementation services. We can augment your existing resources. There's a lot of aspects to our program that I think make it a compelling choice for Microsoft partners who are looking to take advantage of the Dynamics 365 opportunity. And to kind of walk you through the Cloud Alliance in much more detail than I can do, I want to turn it over to Scott May, who's going to kind of walk you through some of the unique aspects of the program. So, Scott, all over to you.
All right. Well, welcome, everybody. Thanks for attending, and thanks, Jim and Scott. Lots of great information so far. Excited to be able to share our program with everybody. So, why is specializing in Dynamics, 365 important? As Jim has mentioned, by having us specializing in Dynamics 365, we can support you while you develop your own Dynamics 365 practice, if you so choose to do that. And the way that we do that is by providing your practice, enablement programs as well as packaged implementation services, training programs, support services, that you can offer direct, to your customers. So you don't necessarily have to build that within, your shop, if you will. If you choose to do that, you certainly can. And then after your practice is established, you can continue to use us to really augment your resources by utilizing our continued developed online services. As Scott had mentioned, we bring 30-plus years of leadership in selling and implementing dynamic solutions, that you can leverage, beginning on day one by partnering with us for Dynamics 365 in the Stratus Cloud Alliance program. We also have direct access to the Microsoft product groups, that we can call upon for additional expertise and resources needed to help you with Dynamics 365 opportunities. Another key point about specializing in Dynamics 365, such that we do, is we are the exclusive distributor of Dynamics 365 Enterprise Edition for Operations, which is formerly known as Dynamics AX. Because of this, we can also provide Dynamics 365 operation implementation, training, and support services. Plus, we have a network of over 300 Dynamics professionals, across all the Dynamics product lines. So if you run into an opportunity that's outside of that, Dynamics 365, we can help you out with that as well. And we'll be able to assist you with Dynamics 365 sales and marketing enablement, including, opportunity and deal support. So, now that you've heard about why specializing in Dynamics 365 is important, let me tell you about some of the key benefits you can provide to your customers. As part of being in the Stratus Cloud Alliance program, you'll be able to offer to your customers, beginning on day one, basically, a full suite of Microsoft Cloud solution offerings, including Dynamics 365, but as well as Office 365, Power BI, Azure, and certainly much more. Your clients will be able to take advantage of our Dynamics 365 implementation, training, and support services that you'll be able to offer to them, and make margin on that. And this would apply to all business and enterprise edition applications, including all flavors of Dynamics 365. So the business edition, sales, operations, anything that's in the Dynamics 365 space, so we'll be able to work with you on. And in today's marketplace, we're continually finding more and more clients are utilizing, business intelligence. And certainly you'll be able to offer your clients, the ability to tap into Power BI implementation, training, and support services, through us as well, as we have that expertise in-house. And if needed, we can also provide managed IT and infrastructure services that you can offer to your customers. Additionally, we'll offer a wide array of ISV products and services, including the largest selection of Dynamics 365 solutions. To help your clients leverage their cloud solutions, they also have access to our Strata Success knowledge base, which will add even more value to the cloud solutions, that you'll be able to provide to them. And we want to make it real easy for your clients to get into the Microsoft Cloud solutions through you. So with that, let me just quickly walk you through our partner onboarding process. Getting started as a Stratus Cloud Alliance partner is simple because we'll provide you with a comprehensive Microsoft CSP onboarding program, where we're going to be there with you through the whole process to make sure you're up and selling Microsoft Cloud solutions quickly. We'll take care of getting you set up on our Stratus Cloud Alliance marketplace, as Jim had mentioned, following our streamlined onboarding processes, no matter which partner program you choose. You'll have a dedicated account manager and onboarding team that will be working with you that have years of experience in working with partners like yourself. We'll help you with the management of Microsoft Cloud pricing, discounting, incentives programs for Dynamics 365. This way you'll be able to be aware of any and all sales opportunities to capitalize upon. One of the key differentiators that you'll have immediate access to, as I mentioned before, is a Stratus Cloud knowledge base, which we'll go into a little bit more detail about in a few slides. As a Stratus Cloud Alliance partner, you'll also have access to your partner portal, and this provides complete visibility into all your billing transactions, plus provides training materials, marketing collateral, and much, much more. We'll also be able to help you with Microsoft Cloud sales and marketing enablement, which includes opportunity and deal support. So let's talk a little bit about our best-in-class e-commerce marketplace, that Jim's mentioned and that we've been working on in development for the past 18 months. Our Cloud Alliance program, it offers a state-of-the-art Stratos or custom-branded marketplace platform. This is where customers can order, provision, manage their Dynamics 365 and other Microsoft Cloud subscriptions, as well as your solutions and services. The Stratus Cloud Alliance marketplace is based upon the industry-leading Ensom platform and provides a robust sales, marketing, and order storefront, which can provide fully customizable content to message and merchandise not only Microsoft, Stratos, and approved ISV products and services, but yours as well, which we'll talk a little bit more about when we get into the programs. The marketplace supports the complete life cycle for Microsoft Cloud services for everything from purchasing through provisioning, management, and billing and invoicing. This helps our partners shorten the sales cycle and time spent on deploying customers because of the platform's real-time access to the cloud marketplace's cloud portfolio. With our marketplace's direct integration with Microsoft's partner portals, this ensures that resellers retain the partner of record status for all eligible subscriptions. Our platform's flexibility helps enable our partners to create and market their own high-value, multi-vendor solution bundles without having to make a significant investment in time and money to do this on our own. Our marketplace really is going to be able to provide you with very easy, partner-friendly billing. That's all going to be able to be done seamlessly and in one place through our marketplace. So we want to make it easy for you. In addition to our best-in-class e-commerce platform, we also are going to provide you and your clients access to Strata Success, the knowledge base. As partners, you all know that software and training go hand in hand, and Stratus really delivers an industry-leading software solution with rapid implementation and a self-service training portal to ensure your organization is able to maximize its investment. Strata Success's personalized training enables users to really learn at their own pace. So let me cover what are 5 of the key offerings that Strata Success provides that will be a benefit to you and to your clients. The first is tailored learning hubs, which provide users with an interactive training experience that's personalized, for their role and needs at that time. Second, they'll also be able to create guided learning paths. And with structured learning paths, users are guided through every step of their learning journey, from really their first onboarding steps to becoming a full, power user of whatever application they're learning about. Third, employees and customers will have access to a self-service support. So Strata Success's robust knowledge base actually has an intuitive search function that gives users exactly the information they need, right when they need it. So that helps, provide accelerated learning. And with Strata Success, they'll get flexible content types. And they include all types of content, including videos, audio recordings, interactive walkthroughs, presentations, and more, which all, improve the overall learning experience. And finally, you'll have access to what's called peer communities. And peer communities bring teams closer together while leveraging champions within your organization to save other users time in getting their questions answered. So Strata Success is yet another value add to you that you'll be able to offer, to your clients as well as part of the Stratus Cloud Alliance program. So let's take a quick look at the Stratus Cloud Alliance program levels. It will be offering, 3 flexible partner models with value-added features and benefits, in each. And you'll be able to choose from our agent, cloud partner, and cloud merchant programs based upon your business needs. So let's take a quick review of each one of those programs. The first is our Cloud Agent program, and that's really perfect for partners with maybe limited resources or who want to offer their customers Microsoft Dynamics 365 cloud solutions as a value add to their core business, but they don't want to mess with kind of all the administration or the support of that. It can be a good starting point for partners that, don't want to jump all into Dynamics 365 to start, if you will. So as a cloud agent, you simply bring your customers to Stratos, and let us take care of the onboarding, billing, administration, and support. It's really that simple. You as a partner, you'll benefit by receiving a monthly margin on the Microsoft subscription services for the life of the account, not only Dynamics 365, but Office 365, Azure, and other Microsoft Cloud solutions that would be purchased through the Stratus Cloud Alliance marketplace. The Cloud Agent program allows you to get into selling Microsoft Dynamics 365 Cloud solutions with really no administrative burden on your part. We take care of everything else, billing, support, administration of the customer. There's no financial investment, to get started, at the agent level or volume requirements. And we provide an easy sign-up and onboarding process, to help quickly launch you. In addition, we'll provide Microsoft Cloud sales assistance to help you close business. So now let's cover our Cloud Partner Program. Our partner program is a true distributor model for partners who want to build a practice, based upon Microsoft Business Solutions. As a cloud partner, you'll be managing the entire customer lifecycle, including pricing, billing, and you also have the option for your organization providing the Tier 1 level support, or you can have us provide that and opt in for that. Our cloud partners will enjoy up to an 18% margin on Microsoft monthly prices, and that's based upon their volume and the support option that they choose. Partners will have complete control over customer pricing and billing, as you'll be billing the client and we'll be billing you. At the partner level, you'll be able to benefit from a co-branded online marketplace that we'll be able to set up quickly for you, so you'll be up and selling Microsoft Cloud solutions really in no time. There's also no financial investment for starting at the cloud partner level, so you'll be able to profit immediately from selling Microsoft Cloud solutions and Dynamics 365 to your clients. Signing up is simple, and we'll work hand in hand with you through our streamlined onboarding processes, so you'll quickly launch your marketplace and be able to sell Dynamics 365. You'll have access to a dedicated account manager who will be working with you on the onboarding process and beyond for ongoing sales support. And that really summarizes our Cloud Partner Program. So let's move on and discuss the Stratus Cloud Alliance Merchant Program. And the Merchant Program, again, is a true distributor model, but really for partners who want to invest in a practice based upon Microsoft Business Solutions as a core business focus. As one of our cloud merchant partners, again, you'll directly manage the entire customer lifecycle, including pricing and billing, and you'll provide the first-tier customer support. You also have your own custom marketplace with access to our entire suite of CSP products bearing your brand. Our merchants will also enjoy up to an 18% margin based upon the monthly prices. But best of all, you'll be able to take advantage of a personalized branded marketplace, which will work with you to get up and running quickly. Your custom branded marketplace, this is going to provide you the ability to control, what SKUs you want to sell and give you the ability to customize it with your own products, your own services, and bundled solutions. You'll be able to get your own custom marketplace started with minimum financial investment, and that will enable you to start profiting from the sale of Microsoft Dynamics 365 and cloud solutions quickly. Signing up, of course, for the Cloud Merchant Program is also easy, and we'll provide a comprehensive hands-on onboarding process. Cloud merchants will also be provided with a dedicated strategic account manager who will be working with you during the onboarding process and well beyond for ongoing sales and support. So now that you've heard about the three programs, really the decision is up to you for which one you'd want to pursue. However, no matter which option you choose, we provide a path to get you into selling Microsoft Dynamics 365 Cloud solutions in 30 days. And we do this by kicking off our 30-day onboarding process where you'll begin working with your account manager and marketplace onboarding team who'll work with you to establish your marketplace and begin the training processes so you can start to place Microsoft Cloud solution orders as soon as possible. Then we'll get you set up on our Strata Success knowledge base so you and your employees can start using it for training and learning Microsoft Cloud solutions. We'll also provide you with access to your partner portal, which provides you, again, with the complete visibility into all your cloud transactions, plus training materials, marketing collateral, and much more. Then we'll work with you on Microsoft Cloud Solutions, sales, and marketing enablement, including any assistance with potential opportunities that need current deal support. The Stratus Cloud Alliance Partners program will allow you to provide Microsoft Cloud Solutions to your clients within 30 days or less. So if you're interested in learning more about the Stratus Cloud Alliance programs, please visit dynamics365partner.com for more information, or to go ahead and sign up. Or feel free to contact me directly via my email on the screen. We certainly look forward to helping you get your business into the cloud in 30 days or less. And thanks, everyone. That really wraps things up for me. So at this point, I'll turn it back over to Scott B. for a Q&A session, and I certainly look forward to hearing from everyone soon. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Scott. Really interesting stuff. So it's so interesting when you talk about both the cloud partner and the cloud merchant level, because there is that margin at both, but then they're also set within the structures of the CSP program, so that your partners are able to set their own billing. So depending on how they package things and bundle their services, they could actually be looking at a larger margin than the margin of of your program.
It certainly is a unique offering, Scott.
Yeah, so let's see. We've got a couple of questions in here, so let's take a look. And like I mentioned at the beginning, there's questions. There's a console there, and if you have any questions, please type them in. But so what are the Microsoft requirements to join the CSP program? Like in addition to your 30-day launch program, is all the Microsoft CSP sign-up stuff sort of built into your process, or do your partners need to do that additionally?
Yeah, that's a great question. There really aren't any additional requirements. You don't have to be a CSP in order to sign up with us. That's all included as part of our Stratus Cloud Alliance program. Basically, you'd need a MPN number, a Microsoft Partner ID, which I would assume most of the folks on this call have, or if not, it's very easy to go out and get one of those, and then we can get started with setting partners up, in the Stratus Cloud Alliance program. Okay.
Yeah, and I guess one thing I should mention just about getting a Microsoft Partner Network ID, signing up for an ID in the Microsoft Partner Network is free. I think the only costs on the Microsoft side come when you start to get different competencies, get silver and gold competencies, for example, or subscribe to the action packs. But getting the ID is part of the free registration. There raises another question. Do your CSP partners need to have any kind of competency, like in Cloud CRM or ERP, or can they get started with you with basically no expertise?
Really, they can get started with us with no expertise. I mean, that's really the focus of our program and focusing on Dynamics 365 is that we've got all of that expertise within our organization that any partner that wants to get started with it can tap right into and offer those services through us and be able to make margin on those services that they're offering as well, and not have to go through the process of getting those certifications or developing that expertise in-house. Granted, if they wanted to do that long term, they certainly could, and then they can start to go through and provide those services. But to get started, they do not have to have any of that expertise or any of those certifications, Scott.
Okay, super. Another question actually related to that is coming in from David, and he says, early on a differentiator was identified as business process knowledge. Also there was a statement about augmenting resources, and he asks, please speak about helping with implementation services. I'm thinking about methodologies, KPIs, ROI, and similar tools. So anything you can say about that?
We've got basically, again, a lot of prepackaged service offerings that we're going to be able to go through and provide to partners that they can just basically tap into, on day one. Certainly, from a standpoint of understanding the business processes and working with ERP, we've got experts within our organizations that certainly can provide, assistance on that. We can certainly go through and provide tools as well, that we've leveraged in that business implementation process. So really everything that, we have that we've done for the past 30 years, we're going to be able to go through and bring, at the disposal of, the partners that we're working with in the Stratus Cloud Alliance program. So, there's a lot of knowledge and expertise, within our organization, and a lot of depth with the 30-plus years of expertise that we've been doing it that we'll be, bringing to the table and working with our partners on.
Okay.
And Scott, I think I'd add, this is Jim, I'd add that, in the new Dynamics 365 world, we are seeing some different ways that clients want to consume professional services and get their business process consulting. And as you can probably recall, in the traditional world of ERP, we had these huge monolithic projects that went on for months or years and cost lots of money, and we had structured methodologies around SureStep and lots of other different PMI-based methodologies for the implementation of ERP. But in the last couple of years, we've noticed that in the cloud, customers often want to consume professional services in smaller bite-sized chunks and get quicker time to value. So, we've got, as Scott was mentioning, kind of a full range of professional services, from prepackaged, templates that focus on specific functionality to, all the way to the traditional kind of custom monolithic approach. And we can help partners across that entire spectrum of business process knowledge and professional services, and they can take advantage of our consulting resources and be able to profit from that as well.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And is some of those resources, I noticed during the presentation there was a mention of the network of 300 plus pros, I think, around the country. Is that related to your Master VAR relationships, or are those all internal to SBS?
Both. They're internal to SBS, okay, and part of our Master VAR relationships as well. So we've got a broad set of resources across North America that can help partners. And I think certainly the other thing that we're seeing on the ERP side is the amount of remote implementation services has increased dramatically over the last 5 or 6 years. Certainly dramatically over when I started in this business 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's not like in the old days where it had to be somebody local doing it.
Right. Hey, we got a related question from Chris, and he asks, are commissions paid for any onboarding professional services? And I'm not sure whether Chris is asking whether it's possible to get commissions paid to the Stratus Alliance partners, or whether there's. I'm not sure about how that goes, which way he's asking about, but maybe you can address that question.
If I interpret that question correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's asking, if they utilize our services, through Stratus Cloud Alliance, whether it be the prepackaged implementations that both Jim and I had mentioned, or even just, custom implementation services, would they, the partner, get a commission on those services? And the answer to that is yes.
Okay.
Hopefully that answered the question.
Gotcha. Yeah, and if that doesn't, Chris, if you're listening, just go ahead and type in a follow-up, and we'll hit that. So some of the things that you were talking about are obviously from your deep Dynamics 365 experience, or your Dynamics side experience on Dynamics 365. And I wanted to ask, if somebody's, say, a Tier 1 partner in the CSP, which means that they're not going through an indirect provider, they're buying their licenses, say, for Office 365 or the subscriptions directly from Microsoft and then, bundling those and packaging them. Can they work with you as well on the Dynamics 365 side, or would they have to be entirely become, a reseller partner of an indirect partner or an indirect CSP provider?
No, Scott, that's, again, another great question, and, a lot of partners here over the last month, and, that question comes up quite a bit. The answer to that is, if you're a Tier 1 CSP partner already, you don't have to totally switch off of, that, or if you're working with, another Tier 2 partner and want to work with us for Dynamics 365, you don't have to totally switch. You can certainly come to us and work with us for Dynamics 365 in that regards and become part of our program. Certainly we do offer, the other Microsoft Cloud solutions, being the Office 365 and Azure and Power BI and Power Apps and, basically the whole Microsoft Cloud stack, and we can go through and support that. But you don't have to go and switch, totally to just working with us. If you want to just work with us for Dynamics 365 for that expertise, you can certainly choose to do that.
Interesting. And would they have to come in at, the agent level, or could they come in as a partner or even a merchant, still working as either a one-tier CSP or, continuing their existing relationship with
whatever level that they would, choose to, based upon, kind of what their business needs are with that.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Another question here. Are there different requirements, like revenue commitments for those partner tiers, the agent and the partner and the merchant?
There's not different revenue commitments, for getting into, either one of the programs necessarily. There will be different margins based upon, the volume levels, but there are different commitments from the standpoint of, the complexity and what you as a partner want to go through and take on. So, at the merchant level, that's taken on basically doing, the Tier 1 level support, for that. If that's something that you don't want to do, then you might want to consider looking at the partner level program where, there's an option as to whether you want to do Tier 1 support or allow us to do that. Or there's other partners that I'm working with that, are coming across opportunities, and all they really want to do is be able to take advantage of that. And so they're signing up at the agent level and, allowing us to transact that, and they're benefiting from, getting a commission on that and really not having to do, anything else other than, bringing it to us.
Gotcha. And as far as those margins go, like what kind of volumes do you have to be reaching to get to the 18% range?
Jim, do you want to take that one?
Sure. So typically that to maximize your margins on our CSP program, you need to be generating, somewhere in that $5,000 to $10,000 a month average billings, which is not all that many seats when you boil it down.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay. Let's see. One other question we've got in here. Oh, I should mention we did hear back from Chris. He said you answered the question, so thank you. So that's great. That was the one about the commission. So you interpreted it correctly.
Great.
Good job.
Thanks.
So another question we've got in here is, besides the branding, what would be the difference between a white label marketplace and a shared marketplace?
Again, the partner level, which is the co-branded, really you're getting the Stratus Cloud Alliance marketplace and all of the SKUs that we have, that are on the Stratus Cloud Alliance marketplace with your brand, attached to it. But you don't have the ability to go through and customize it with, custom package solutions, custom SKUs, custom services that, you're going to go through and want to offer. So that's really the merchant level. If you want to really be able to go through and, one, have a totally private branded marketplace where it doesn't say Stratus Cloud Alliance at all, it's all your company's brand, and the ability to go through and modify what SKUs you want to offer, put additional SKUs basically of different products or services that you want to be able to offer, put together bundled packages, if you will, that's only available at the merchant level. And so that's probably the main differences, if you will, between kind of the partner level and the merchant level. I guess the other piece is at the partner level, as Ed mentioned before, you've got the option of do you want to provide Tier 1 support or not. At the merchant level, that's, your brand, you're providing, that Tier 1 level support.
Gotcha.
I'd also,
oh, yeah, go ahead, Jim.
So I'd also add, Scott, too, that the merchant, while it gives you the ability to have complete control over your catalog, is also a great option for ISVs who have, a lot of their own intellectual property and solutions and want to bundle that up with Microsoft SKUs, so that it really gives them a lot of flexibility to get to an e-commerce platform very quickly and incorporate CSP into it.
Yeah, great point, Jim. I know I've spoke with a lot of ISV providers already at this point. So
super. Yeah, and that merchant one, I guess, are they still accessing the same, NSIM infrastructure underneath the marketplace?
Yeah, it's the same marketplace. It's just the way it's configured differently.
Just the way it's presented. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Well, it looks like we've gotten through all the. Oh wait, here's one more question came in from David. He asks, "Is the program geographically restricted? Is it available internationally?"
Right now, it is only available in the U.S. We're working at this point and talking with the Microsoft Canada, but at this point, it is only available in the U.S.
Okay. All right. So stay tuned on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that runs through the questions that we had. Any closing thoughts you guys want to leave us with?
I certainly wanted to just thank everybody for their time. I've been having a lot of great conversations over the past month that I've had with many, many different, partners, both managed service providers, Dynamics partners, ISVs, and certainly, there's a lot of excitement about getting involved, but, also a lot of, questions, about where things are going. And certainly would love to speak with anybody who's got any questions or any interest or needs any further clarification. Please don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah, and I share my thanks for everyone to join who's joined today, and also I was in Redmond last week, and we've got a lot of exciting things coming down the pike in the next quarter or so around Dynamics 365 Business Edition, and so this is a great time to get involved and be prepared for what I think are going to be some great solutions coming down the pike.
Okay, well, tremendous. Well, thank you guys for coming on and sharing all these details of the program with us. It's been really informative, and it's a really interesting offering. And I also want to thank, everybody for your time and for your questions. And it's been great. And I want to bring Chris Flack back on to close us out.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for your presentations today, and everybody in the audience for joining us. Don't forget, you can check in the resource tab down on the dock of your screen for a lot of associated materials with today's program. If you're interested in anything else, please feel free to drop your email in the Ask a Question box. Let us know you're interested in more. But thank you all for attending today's program, brought to you by SBS Group and presented by rcpmag.com. Thanks for attending. Have a great day.